Tired of doom scrolling? Time for a dose of awesome. 5 Good News Stories is your happy place, where underdogs become champions, crossing guards become legends, and impossible dreams come true. We're serving up 5 fresh reasons to believe in humanity. From world records to cute animal stories, to that guy who turned his pizza shop into a homeless shelter. These are the stories that'll make you go, wait, what? That's amazing! Ready for your good news fix? Follow 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts, because let's face it, we could all use more awesome in our lives. The number 5 Good News Stories.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Very busy for a Sunday. Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Let's follow yesterday's lead and try and keep everything light and silly. Christina P, Christina Pazitsky, has added her voice to those who did not enjoy Meghan Markle's new Netflix series with Love Meghan. Before we get to Christina P, I'll give you my take. I was watching it with my wife and I said, I think this is Kaufman-esque level comedy. There's no way Meghan Markle is serious about this thing. This has to be a put-on. She can't possibly be serious about the bees and making candles. I think it's an Andy Kaufman level bit, making Meghan Markle the greatest comedian of our generation. So I applaud her for that. If you want to hear just entertaining, savage reviews of the Meghan Markle series, check out our sister podcast, Palace Intrigue, where we talk about the royals. I'm the writer on it. I've been assembling this stuff. When I say the reviews are unkind, that's an understatement. Anyway, Christina P said, she's an actress playing the part of a human being right now, and it's not working. Christina shared this with her 1 million followers on TikTok and said, I don't know what the bleep this show is. The problem from minute 1 is that she's trying to be perfect all the time, and it reads as phony, as inauthentic and not fun. Meghan, you just need to be an actress. Just go act. You're great in suits, but when it comes to being a household branded name, you better be that thing through and through. Otherwise, people know you're being fake and inauthentic. She's like, I don't even like honey, but now I appreciate it because I see how hard it is to get. And then she makes beeswax candles out of real beeswax, but she's like, I've never done this before. Yeah, you've never done any of this before, and I can tell. We can all tell. Savage, love it. Palace Intrigue, wherever you get your shows. Matt Reif is playing 2 nights at Madison Square Garden this summer. Matt says it's unbelievable. It's about as big as a comedian can get, realistically. I think there have only been about 4 comedians who've done stadiums above arenas. Even if it's not MSG, I mean, the Toyota Center is a dream, but to get to Madison Square Garden above that, it does seem like all the bucket list items are checked off at that point. It's the most famous venue on the planet. Stadium-wise, Bill Burr has definitely played Fenway. Gabe Iglesias has definitely played Dodger Stadium. Larry the Cable Guy has played a football stadium in Nebraska. I'm sure I'm forgetting others, and you can remind me in the Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast Group. Rife says it's actually not the first time he's played MSG. I opened for Dave Chappelle on his 50th birthday, and I got a taste of it. I was like, wow, this would be unbelievable to do on my own someday. Here we are 2 years later, actually making it happen. I'm stoked. New York City has always been good to me, a mecca of stand-up. Rife talked about arenas versus smaller theaters and said, I can do the same kind of show in a 300-person comedy club as I do in a 20,000-seat arena. I'll time out there. I would think the likes of Jim Gaffigan would disagree on that. I remember quoting Jim on something like that maybe 2 weeks ago, and Jerry might disagree. I'm not a performer. I don't know. Rife said, that's kind of what I pride myself on, being able to take the same kind of performance, same type of show, and same energy that's relatively intimate to such a big room. Yes, there's 15,000 plus people there, but it just feels like we're hanging out at one party. Some comedians can sometimes step out of their comfort zone, but me, just people there. The energy in an arena is miraculous, man. I don't know how else to describe it. It's incomparable. It has to be the same adrenaline rush as when someone catches a game-winning touchdown. It's so much fun, and you can feel everybody having fun. It's like getting hit with a blast of positivity, which I imagine is the same description an adult film star would give. Rife welcomes newcomers, and he was asked what they can expect. I guess it would be context and more context. Comedians never want to give away too much online. That's why I post so much crowd work, because there's such unique instances that are never going to be duplicated. That's what unique is, yes. I'm a language snob when it comes to unique. I highly doubt I'm ever going to see that person again. I'm never going to be in the same circumstance, in the same venue again, and never hear the same stories. So it's almost like a little tease. This is kind of what's happening at the show. But you come to the show, you're going to get an hour of material. You're going to get interactive experience as well. I'm most likely going to talk to somebody and have a fun interaction there. And again, going back to the energy, yes, we're all entertained sitting and staring at our phone all day thinking, ha, that's funny. But to actually sit there and experience and be part of it, it's physical experience as much as mental and emotional. For anyone who's never been to a comedy show before, it's the same as going to a music concert. No, it's not. You got to hear your favorite musician live. We'll keep an eye on this one. Kevin Hart's Bridgeport show was canceled for an unknown reason. Kevin Hart was supposed to play the Total Mortgage Arena in downtown Bridgeport on March 12th. Ticketmaster said the event organizer has had to cancel. Kevin Hart, never afraid to take a gig. He likes to work. He's got a new animated series because, of course, he does. This one is called Lil Kev. Not the most original idea here, Kevin. I feel like Chris Rock has done this before. The series is set in 1993 in North Philadelphia and follows 12-year-old Kevin Hart, whose wild imagination and unshakable optimism constantly collide with his neighborhood's harsh realities. Kevin Hart stars as Kevin Hart. Wanda Sykes stars as Kevin Hart's hardworking mother, Nancy, alongside Dion Cole, who stars as Uncle Richard Jr., Nancy's formerly incarcerated younger brother. The show blends comedy and satire while tackling real-life issues. Lil Kev is the first original animated series for BET+, and if you visit BET.plus and a big long URL, you can watch episode 1. Here's the story I bumped yesterday because it was political, and we weren't doing that yesterday. Lewis Black spoke to dailycommercial.com. Lewis is not happy with this whole Doge Elon Musk thing. Lewis says only 20% of our workforce in the federal government comes from Washington, D.C., and I've said for a long, long time that I worked for the federal government, for the Appalachian Regional Commission. My father worked for the federal government as an engineer. He went to work, he did his work, he built sea mines, and he helped make defensive weapons. Reif says his father didn't sit around going, gee, I wonder. He did his full day's work. Jobs are important to people. It gives their lives meaning. And about 95% of the people who work for the feds, it's what they do, and they love what they're doing, but they're being treated as if they did something wrong, and Doge has no proof except for the fact that they think they need to cut them out. Don't act like because you work in the private sector, holier than thou, and this is where, normally, there's a print interview, I'd get into a lot of profanities. Lewis said the job cuts don't make sense. You know, we're lowering the taxes for rich people. I mean, this isn't brain surgery. There is a comedic musical artist out of the UK. I'm not sure how they pronounce the name of their band. Pay attention here. I think it's pronounced Kunt and the Gang, K-U-N and another letter. I always pronounce it Kunt. Kunt and the Gang have released a new song about the ailing Pope. It is called Is the Pope Gonna Croak? And I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. Hopefully the Pope has not passed away between me recording this and the sentence. Personally, I hope all people live a long life. And I won't mention for the second time in 3 days, I'm of the Catholic faith. Anyway, Is the Pope Gonna Croak? Underlines the fact that the pontiff is not made of magic, and someday, like all of us, he will pass away. And like I said, hopefully not between Friday and me recording this. Let's see what's happening at South by Southwest on a Sunday. 4 o'clock, Improv for Humans with the best improvisers in the universe. All right, who are the best improvisers in the universe? They are apparently James Adomian, Anthony Atamnowick, those are 2 good choices. Matt Besser, great choice. Lisa Gilroy, great choice. Yeah. Anybody else? If we want to challenge their premise that these are the best improvisers in the universe, are there other good improvisers? Wayne Brady always seemed pretty good to me at it. Who else would you add? Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast group. 5 o'clock, The Comedian's Comedian is recording an episode with Scott Aukerman. At 6 o'clock, The Stand presents Wits Live at South by. Wits is this new comedy network that got a lot of press earlier in the week. Kudos to their PR people. They announced some podcasts and just every media outlet picked it up. Personally, I think the reaction was oversized to what was actually announced, but that's neither here nor there. Congratulations to them. They've got a Sunday night slot at South by. And on this show, Joe DeRosa, Sam J, Ian Lara, and TJ Miller. Also at 7 o'clock, the Don't Tell Comedy All-Stars. Now, I had this question. Normally, Don't Tell Comedy doesn't tell us where the show is. That's what it is. But this one is at the Creek in the Cave at 7 o'clock, and I even know who's performing. It's Greer Barnes, Drew Dunn, Megan Gelly, Opie Alagbaju, and Laura Peak. Now, guys, that's not what Don't Tell Comedy is. This is the opposite of Don't Tell Comedy. This is tell comedy, which is a hack joke, but it is the proper joke to make in this circumstance, despite it being hack. 8 o'clock, Bonnie McFarlane, none of this is real, says parentheses, stand-up comedy special. What does that mean? Let me click on it. Join award-winning comedian and writer Bonnie McFarlane for an exclusive live taping of her new comedy special, None of This Is Real. On the bill, Rich Voss, Drew Dunn, and Bonnie McFarlane. Pretty busy for a Sunday night. A lot of times Sundays are dead at comedy festivals. Elysian Nights ATX at 9 o'clock. Chad Damiani, Christina Catherine Martinez, Aparna Nancherla, Natalie Palomides, Nick Thune, Melissa Villasenor. I like that lineup a lot. I would go to that. The description, spend the night with comics and clowns we love as we bring the Elysian's eponymous variety show on the road. Elysian Nights launched late in 24 at the opening of the Elysian's new room, The Vault. At 10 o'clock, a live comedy event called Would You Bang Him? Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane. This hilarious mock game show features a lineup of male comedians delivering quick sets to a panel of female judges who then answer the question, would you bang him? I love it. Reggie Conquest, Drew Dunn, Punky Johnson, Jay Jordan, Ian Lara, Bonnie McFarlane, Caitlin Palufo. Boy, she's everywhere all of a sudden. Rich Voss, Maddie Weiner. That sounds like fun. And then 11, The Super Good Show. They have, I think it's AI, or otherwise it's a stylized photo of what a comedy audience might look like. It just looks so fake, whatever generated it. This is a stand-up comedy show that is advertised. Love the description. On it, Alex English, Lynn Koplitz, Pete Lee, Maddie Weiner, Godfrey. All right, I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to do the what if we were there? What would I make you go to? Let's see. At 4 o'clock, we're absolutely hitting Matt Besser. That'll take us to 5:30, so we're going to miss Scott Ackerman. Boy, that's a shame. 6 o'clock show, let's skip that and go to, let's see, let's do Don't Tell at 7. Then we'll grab a beverage and do Would You Bang Him at 10. And I'm old. I can't stay up for the late show. I'm going to bed. You can solo on that one. And the Sydney Comedy Festival has announced their lineup. Now, if you've been listening for a few years, in April, you're going to hear me really deep dive on the Sydney Comedy Festival. I like to see what's going on down there and share some different comedians. So, we're not every day going, hey, Bill Burr did this, Jim Gaffigan did that. It's fun to talk about other people. So I personally really, really enjoy spotlighting the Sydney Comedy Festival back for its 20th anniversary. 340 shows from April 21st to May 18th. A lot of good content in the second half of the podcast from me. Scottish comedian Daniel Sloss kicks things off with the festival's first One Night Stand, a Sydney-exclusive show at the Sydney Opera House. That's Thursday, April 24th. New for 2025 is the Sydney Comedy Festival Comedy Crawl, where audiences move from bar to bar for surprise sets and surprise venues. That's fun. Also, Breakouts, a mentorship program supporting 4 emerging comedians, Alan Fang, Frankie Rousthorne, Toby Barone, and Stella Wu, as they develop new material with industry professionals. That's fun. Highlights from this year's lineup, says the press release. Aussie talent includes Reese Nicholson, comedy legend and star of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. Let's see, the viral Filipino-Australian podcasters, the Cheat Coders, Mexican-Australian comedic wrestlers, Lucha Fantastica, love it. Some international acts include Brazilian comedian Fabio Rabin, performing in Portuguese, Malaysian stand-ups, Kevin J, Gazel, and Poppy Zach. They are the Malaysian Comedy All-Stars. And the lineup also includes Guy Montgomery, Barker, Melanie Bracewell, Nazim Hussain, Becky Lucas, Joel Creasy, Reese Darby, you know him from Flight of the Conchords, and Steph Broadbridge. Looking forward to the Sydney Comedy Festival. And that is your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White Smoke, the path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're fascinated by UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, cryptid creatures like Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and Mothman, then I have the show for you, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader. Each week, we investigate different claims of the supernatural and try to shed light into the darkness, bringing you the top guests and experts from around the world. enter the fray. Then join me, Dave Schrader, your host, as we investigate all aspects and claims of the supernatural and paranormal. Listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms: Good Pods, TuneIn, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Player FM, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. The answers to life's biggest questions and miracles and mysteries awaits you. So join me each week, 2 brand new episodes of the best in paranormal podcasting, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader.